We're going to do the names, the picture, and the equation. So how you arrange that on your card is completely up to you. There's 3 pieces of information. Obviously, you're going to put 2 pieces on one side and the other piece on the other side. So here's what I mean. Very first function listed is the identity function. So the name is the identity function. I am okay if you call that the linear function, because either word is fine with me, because the identity is a line. This is what the identity looks like. So on the graph paper there, on your BFF sheet, just draw in that line. That's what the identity looks like. And the equation for the identity, see, look on your paper, see where it says the identity function, then it says y equals, that's the equation. The equation is y equals x. It's a linear equation. It is the only one of your BFFs that's a line. The rest of them are all like shapes. Okay? What's the next one on the sheet? The next one on the sheet is called the squaring function. Now, the squaring function, you can also call the quadratic function if you want. The quadratic function is a parabola. And you want to take a wild guess what its equation is?
Y equals X.
Not y equals x. What's quadratic? X squared. Y equals x squared. It's called the squaring function.
Are we supposed to be writing anything on these note cards right now?
You can. I want it on this sheet too, because I want the shapes on this sheet. But yes, that information is going to be transferred to your note cards.
Okay.
Because that's how you're going to study with your flashcards, hopefully. Because guess what? All this has to be memorized. There's 12 of them. So you're going to be responsible for 12 names, 12 shapes, 12 equations, and you have to know what goes with what. So at some point we'll have a quiz, and I'll say, draw a picture of the squaring function. And you'll draw that shape. Or I'll draw this shape and say, what is the equation of this shape? And you'll say y equals x. Okay, now memorize it all. All right, what's the next one? Okay, you want to take a wild guess what the cubing function equation is? X cubed. So the cubing function equation is y equals x cubed. And here is its shape. You gotta be careful with this. It's a squiggly line through the origin. So look, see how it squiggles through the origin. Don't draw it straight, because if you draw it straight, it looks like the identity, right? It's got to be squiggly. That's the cubing function. Okay, so your first page should be complete. Do you have a straight line, diagonal line for linear, a parabola for quadratic, and then that thing for cubic? Is that what you got so far? Perfect. What's next?
Reciprocal.
Reciprocal function. The reciprocal function has the equation y equals 1 over x. Reciprocal, 1 over x, that makes sense. And its picture now is a little bit strange. Its picture has an asymptote here, maybe I should do it in a different color. Has an asymptote here, and an asymptote here, and then a shape that looks like that, and like that. That pink thing is the reciprocal function. If we were like filling in all the rest of the stuff on that sheet, which you are not responsible for, so I don't want you to get scared. We use this sheet in all the classes. So different classes, different levels have to fill in different stuff. But if we were filling in some of the other stuff, this would be our first discontinuous function because it's broken. This guy's not broken. I can just draw him, but here I have to draw it in two pieces. Okay, got it? That's your reciprocal. All right, what's next? Square root. Any idea what the equation for a square root function might be? Well, I hope you guessed y equals the square root of x, because that's what it is. That's the square root function. Do not get that confused with squaring. Squaring is x squared. Square root is square root of x. Here is its picture. Put a dot at the origin, and then kind of arc out this way. Make sure you're arcing that way. It's kind of like, it isn't, but it's kind of like a sideways parabola. You're making a parabola sideways, it's that piece of it. Square root function. Got it? Okay, we're gonna do one more. We're gonna finish this page. The exponential function. The exponential has an asymptote here. A dot at 0, 1. And then does this. So this way, it gets closer and closer to that asymptote. But this way, it just shoots up into space. Have you ever heard the term exponential growth? Something is growing exponentially. That means fast. That's the exponential function. Okay? So I need your BFF sheet up to date. Make sure you have the first page front and back done. We'll do the other 6 next time.
Is there
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Y equals e to the x. Y equals e to the x. That is your exponential function equation. Thank you. Okay, so yes, at this point, you can have 6 note cards done. Please hang on to all your note cards. You're gonna be studying these good. Lucy's got great